my channel today, and we are doing a brand new video today. And so today we are back with a brand new shell challenge for the month of July. And I have to say, for this shell challenge, it's a little bit more difficult than the previous one because it is base game only, but tiny build. A tier 2 tiny home base game only shell challenge that you guys have to do, and you can't add or remove any of my walls. And so that being said, let me show you what I mean. Basically, I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to build another base game build of some sort on stream, and so I came up with this, a 63 tile of 64 of this tier 2 tiny home. You can't add another tile to it or remove another tile, but what you can do is that you can move around the front porch, or you can also move the back porch to whatever you like, whatever angle you want of this build to fit your liking. However, you cannot add more to it, so you can't extend it, you can't make it smaller. That's messing with my walls. And the one required object that you have to put in this build for me to see is that you have to hide these 3 little pandas in your build for me to search for it while I tour them on Twitch on the, I think, the 31st of July, which is the end of the month. And so hopefully you guys will participate in this shell challenge. And if you want to know any of more of the rules, I will put them down below in the description so you can kind of get a gist and an idea of what I'm kind of going for the shell challenge. And if you don't have tiny living, I know most people don't have it, but if you don't have it, just so you know, don't add any walls on the outside. You can only add walls on the inside if you want to, just not on the outside. And again, I say you can move the front porch and the back porch whatever side you want to the build. You just can't remove them. You can move them, just not remove. So yeah, but either way, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into my own attempt at my own shell challenge, and let's see how this turns out. So I realized when I was actually attempting to do my own shell challenge that I was way too confident that day on stream, actually building the shell and furnishing it and landscaping everything, that I was way too confident. Because I thought to myself, I can build a base game only tiny home with 63 out of 64 tile usage and restricted of plants, objects, and everything. I was way off, and I thought I could actually fit a single parent with a toddler, 2 toddlers in this tiny home. And then I realized that toddlers cannot actually climb the ladders, because if you guys do not know, when we got the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack update a long time ago, when the pack first came out, the Sims team actually added base game ladders that your Sims can use to climb up and down in their house, which is really useful because sometimes stairs don't really work well with tiny homes. And so I wanted to be able to utilize the ladders for this tiny home basically. And my chat, my lovely Spring Squad members, they came up with the idea of making this into a converted or a church converted into a tiny home. And I thought that was a really cool idea, so I went with it. And so the idea around this house is that this single parent used to live in the hustle and bustle city of San Myshuno, of course, as every Sim lives there for the first few years of their life as an independent Sim after graduating university. But this Sim didn't have the life that they deserved, or just didn't have the life that they hoped that they deserved. And growing up, they didn't really have the best life. They had a very steady, easy, not happy-go-lucky life. They had a family that was struggling. It was basically a family of 8, and they were the oldest out of the 8 siblings, and it was too hectic that they never felt that they were really needed or really just not their own person, because they were constantly taking care of their siblings or taking care of their parents, or trying to find a job to help support the family. And so they just didn't really have room to breathe and be their own person. And so the Sim was thinking, hey, I know I help around the house for so long, but I want to be able to be my own person. I want to be able to live the life I want to live. And they decided to move out, pack up their things, and move off into university. But they had no clue on what they wanted to actually go into. And so they kind of went into it as undecided, but still took classes. But even though they have a degree in, I believe, biology. I don't really remember what the degree is actually called, but it has to do with science or whatever. And they didn't technically want to go into that field because they didn't know what they wanted to do with their life, because they were always constantly taking care of other people and didn't have time to decide of what they wanted and what they wanted to do with their life. And so a couple of years later, after they graduated university, they wanted to move not to the city. They wanted to move away from the city, actually, to move to a very a new, calm, easy neighborhood that had a lot of value in it, but needed some help, but was the right area for them to live in for their new beginnings. So they moved off into Newcrest, which is a base game world that I think is really nice to start any sim in, because it's an empty world that came with a base game update 84 years ago. And so I feel in a way that for this sim, where they graduated, they lived in the city, but they wanted to move to a different area. They had one kid in that time being of living in Newcrest, but they are no longer in that relationship anymore because that relationship was dead and gone from the beginning. High school sweethearts don't last all the time in The Sims, for my sim particularly, because I like to ruin relationships for no reason, but that's just me. Either way, the sim was thinking, hey, I have a kid, I live alone, I have a degree, might as well use it to some good use. And they wanted to build a nice little small home, not something too big, but something this simple and easy for them to have something at least. And they stumbled across this house or this church that needed some upbringing. And they actually, I just remembered, they were in the engineering career, but they had a friend who was in the manual labor career as a part-time manual labor person. It's one of the part-time jobs in The Sims, and your teenagers and elders and adults and young adults can actually partake in that career, which is really cool. And so they had a friend that was in the manual labor job as part-time, and they were in engineering. And they kind of put two and two together, thinking, hey, what if we actually converted this church into a tiny home for me and my child? And they were like, oh, sure, we'll go for it. We'll make it happen. It's gonna be totally fine. And so a couple months afterwards, they felt that it was time for them to just upgrade all the things in their life, including their house. And this is what I'm doing right now. It came to be something that was nothing, and they turned it into something. And so I just really just love that whole idea, just thinking that I can convert things into something that was once really, really cool into something that's nice and livable. And I don't know how much it actually costs for the simoleons part, but it is up on the gallery if you guys want to download this specific lot. I only used base game, nothing else, just base game. So if you have base game, which I think pretty much almost everyone on this planet has, you can download it with no problems, no issues, no nothing, no custom content. I don't use build CC in my game at all, but I do use a lot of debug. And debug is a great yet dangerous place to be in, because with debug, you have all the packs like I do, or some packs. It can get very overwhelming with a lot of stuff, because debug has literally every single object that your Sims use that's out in the world, like cars, plungers, toilet paper. All the things that Sims use and you see around in the world are in debug. So trust me when I say, if you want to make your landscaping, your builds look different and unique and out of the box, use debug. Please, 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 please use debug. It'll save your build. When in doubt, add a plant. It covers your mistakes, because that's what I do every time. I use plants to cover my mistakes so you don't look at the most obvious ugly corner of the house. Everywhere in this house is literally just a mistake. So I changed it and added some plants to make it look more luxurious. And don't get me wrong, I built this on stream on Twitch. If you guys want to watch the VOD back, I do have a second channel on YouTube that you guys can go subscribe to. It's just more SpringSims, but I'm actually a month behind of all those streams, so it may take a minute for you guys to see the current streams for a while. But if you do want to catch my previous streams I've done in the past, they are on my second channel, which is more SpringSims. The link is down below. It took me around, I would say, 3.5 hours to only do, and I don't remember if I built this all in one stream or it took me like 2 streams to finish this, because I do remember, I remember it now. Okay, it took me 3.5 hours to actually do all the landscaping and do the shell of the house and figure out what I actually wanted and do some of the furnishing, because I actually did all of the I did the first floor, second floor, all the landscaping, and I did the backyard on a different day, but not on stream. Now I remember, because I realized that when it comes to building for me, I take a very long time to build, and I'm very indecisive when it comes to building and just like figuring out what I want to do for the layout. Because once I figure out the layout, I know what I want for like each room, but I don't know what idea I want to go for. So for the kitchen, I didn't want to make it too busy or too crazy. So I made it a very small yet comfortable, usable kitchen that your Sims can use. There's a couple of counters that your Sims can sit on, I believe. No, but there's enough like area storage, making your dinner, breakfast, and lunch space. But there is a table in the middle of the room that your Sims can sit on, and you can see that I was actually placing down some high chairs because I realized, oh, we can have some toddlers, whatever. Little did I know that toddlers cannot climb up the ladder in the game, so I was like, I'm just gonna yeet them out and just put regular chairs, and it's called a day. And that's what I did. And surprisingly, it actually looked pretty well on the way I did it. And if you guys want to see any building tutorials on this channel, like how I landscape, how I do a shell or furnish things, if you just want to see real-time builds, basically, let me know in the comments below, because I really do want to know what you guys want to see on the channel, because I've been seeing a lot of comments lately, and like on Twitter and stuff, like, do this, do that, and I'm like, I don't want to do that just yet, because I got plans. And if you guys don't check my Twitter, which you all should, I do have a lovely announcement or thing that I'm doing, basically, is that I'm redoing my office. And originally it was blue, but now it's gonna be yellow. And if you've seen like some of my face cam videos I've done on YouTube, like for trailer reactions or like some random stuff, you would know the walls are blue. But now that's not the case, because I took a week break from recording videos and uploading for a while just to focus on my room and get that done and out the way for a while. But now that I'm done with painting my walls, I can start putting things in, furnishing it, decorating it how I want. And there will be a video about my room transformation in the next couple of weeks. I just have to edit a lot of things, add transitions, music, all the stuff, so it just makes it look interesting. I mean, I'm no Mr. K, but I watch a lot of Mr. K, and I think I got some good skills, and I would say I'm a pretty good Sims builder and interior designer for the Sims, but I wonder if I can actually take my Sims skills and take my Sims skills to decorate my office, which is yellow. So, I mean, we'll see in the end result eventually, but let's be real here. It might turn out fine, because the color scheme is yellow, green, brown, and white. That's it. I'm not going any other direction except those 4 colors, because they all match well, because I'm a graphic designer by knowledge and just by nature. So I'm just used to it, making colors match well, and I think that's why I always end up using the same type of plants and like color wallpaper, because it matches with anything. Wood tones just match so well for a build. And lo and behold, I think this was a build that I added a lot of plants in. If not, then it was a different build that I recorded for a different video that you'll see in a couple of days. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun making this build, because I don't normally do a lot of base scheme builds, and I know I should, but I just want to have fun every once in a while, to just go crazy and do whatever I want. And a lot of you guys have been seeing a lot of bits and pieces here and there of some certain things that have been sprinkling on Twitch for me, basically. But If you guys are on Twitter and or on YouTube, basically, you would have seen that I'm gonna be part of the Sims Sparked TV show, which is a cool and exciting thing. And it comes out on July 17th, which is actually the day you're watching this is gonna be in, I believe, 5 days from now. So in 5 days from now on TBS on July 17th, the first episode of the Sims or the Sparked TV show, reality TV show, is going to be airing on TBS, and it'll be on BuzzFeed Multiplayer, I believe, on the 20th. So I think every Monday, a new episode comes out for the show, which is really, really cool. I will leave all the links down below to the trailer, BuzzFeed Multiplayer, some special things that you definitely should go check out, just so you kind of know what the gist is. But me and some other simmers that you probably already know are on that show, and hopefully you guys actually enjoy it, because it was definitely a time that we all enjoyed. We grew closer together, we bonded closer together, and we recorded it or filmed it late 2019, so it was definitely before the whole pandemic and everything, and we're all safe, we're all fine, and that's a tea. But anyway, back to the build that I was trying to say here. Like I said in the beginning, I wanted to make sure that this house had enough room for a single parent, but also had a kid who was still like in their childhood stage, not yet a teenager, but more close to aging up. And I do want to actually make a single parent like create a sim with like all my custom content and all this stuff, because I think it'd be kind of fun to see what I could do with a 2 sims, like a young adult sim and a child, and put them in this house, because I think it'd be kind of fun. And I really do have a lot of fun like making up random stories that I think sound interesting, and a lot of you guys really do enjoy my storytelling, which I love a lot. I appreciate that. I eventually want to make a podcast or some type of like book I want to write in the distant future. I don't know when that will be, but I'll keep you all updated on that when that will happen. If I make a podcast or if I make some type of book that you all can read, or an audiobook. Imagine making an audiobook. That'd be interesting. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, and it's wild. But it's something that I've always wanted to do, and eventually I'll get there in the distant future, but who knows when that will be. And so this build, let me actually see how much this build actually costs, because I do not technically remember. I'm pretty sure it's over 100k or somewhere near like 75, 85k, somewhere around that range. But it was definitely a build that I was trying to figure out, because it was my first time using the ladders, and I had to figure out how I was gonna do it and where I was gonna put it, and where the Sims actually start, where they get off from the ladder. And it was actually not that bad, and a lot of you guys actually helped me in the stream to make the build what it is now. And if you guys want to download the build, it is up on the gallery for download on a 30 by 20 lot. It actually only costs 72,281 simoleons on the gallery, which is not that bad, to be honest. Like I'm actually shocked at myself on how well I would say I did this. Like the landscaping, I take pride in. Landscaping is 100% what I think I'm good at and what I'm more passionate about, because with landscaping you could literally do anything. Make it look ugly, make it look, clean cut, suburban, whatever have you. It's just like, you make it whatever you want. Like, life is what you make it, so let's make it right. And that is what I did today. I don't know, for the past few days, I've been really having a lot of fun just chillaxing and relaxing with just being me and just having fun, Because personally, in my mind, I really have fun just playing Sims or playing Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley. And speaking of Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, I bought them on the Switch a couple of months ago, and I've been addicted. And I don't know what it is, but apparently I'm better at Stardew Valley on the Switch than PC, even though I'm recently new to Stardew Valley on the Switch, I feel more productive on the Switch than the PC because I feel stressed out. Maybe it's because like the limited stuff I can't do from, maybe. It's fine. But Animal Crossing is Litty McLit and it's the best thing ever. You should check it out. Great time. They have a fishing thing, but I think by the time you're watching this, it's like already over, which is totally fine, but still, Animal Crossing is great. And if you play Animal Crossing, let me know who your favorite resident is on your island and what is your island fruit, because I do want to know what that is because we can all bond together. I can't really actually show you what my island looks like because I don't have the actual Switch to really like record from it or stream from it, so we're stuck with pictures on Discord and Twitter basically, which I haven't done in a while. I gotta update you guys on my island. It's not that bad. It's not ugly. It doesn't look like a toe. It's just a work in progress. That's all I have to say. A work in progress, and that is definitely it. But the build is actually coming along pretty well, and I'm getting very close to the end of this build. But like I said, honestly, if you guys want to try out my shell challenge, it is up on the gallery along with the shell and the finished version. It is only base game only. All the rules are down below in the description for you guys to check out. Look at them, see what they are. If you want to try it for yourself, please do, because I would love to know what you guys come up with this shell challenge. And if you have any more suggestions, please let me know on the Discord as always. And that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments below as always of what you thought. And I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!